You should never remove a puppy from its mother, and you have to feed them the proper food as well. So there are some foods that are actually toxic to dogs.
I mean, are you serious?
Yeah,
I'm knowing these things for first time, like there is special soap or shampoo for dogs, and there is special toothpaste for dogs.
How to take care of a newborn puppy?
Well, the first thing is you should never remove a puppy from its mother unless it's at least 8 weeks old. So you shouldn't,
8-week-olds.
2 months old, no younger than that. They need their mother. They need their mother's milk up until that age. They learn all the social cues and how to be a dog from the mother. So if you remove them from that and remove them from their siblings, they're isolated on their own. They don't know how to behave properly and they don't get the proper, things that they need. So that's the first thing. Don't remove them from the mother too early. But then afterwards, then the first thing you should do is get them vaccinated. Vaccination is primarily for the parvo and distemper at first. They receive vaccinations and then later from rabies. But so that's the primary thing, and deworming. They often pick up worms from their mother. So, yeah.
And deworming?
Deworming, yeah.
How to take care of a 3 to 4 months old puppy?
So you have to make sure that they are fed enough. They use up a lot of energy when they're growing, yeah? Like human babies, you have to feed them regularly. You can't just feed them once a day. They need at least 3 or 4 meals a day up until probably the age of 6 months. And then you can reduce it to 2. And you have to feed them the proper food as well. I mean, if you think about it, they're growing bones, they're growing skin, they're getting bigger, their organs are getting bigger, their brain's getting bigger. So in order for that to happen, they need protein. So, if you only feed them milk or chapati and rice, that's not nutritious enough for a growing dog. You have to include protein. And whether you're a vegetarian or a vegan and you choose to feed your dog in that way is up to you, but just really make sure that you're giving them a proper protein diet that is varied and, so curd is very good, eggs are very good, obviously chicken is excellent. Obviously in India some people don't feed chicken and eggs because of, they're vegetarian or vegan, but dogs are not vegan. Really. So try not to feed your dog vegan food if possible. They do need a bit more nutrition. It's very hard for them to get all their nutrients from plant material. Yeah.
Is sugar good for our dogs?
So there are some foods that are actually toxic to dogs. So chocolate is one of them, which is probably where the sweet thing comes from. Too much sugar for dogs is obviously not good, just like for humans. If you want to give biscuits occasionally as a treat, it's fine. Just obviously don't make that their main meal.
Okay, what are the case of pastries, cakes?
Yeah, exactly. Again, just occasionally a very small amount. If you want to if you're eating one and you just want to give it a little treat, it's fine. But don't, you don't need to go and buy them a whole pastry or cake for themselves and feed it to them each day. That's not going to be healthy. So not too much sweet stuff. Chocolate is toxic to dogs, as is grapes and raisins. So never feed your dog grapes or raisins.
Okay.
And onions. And I know a lot of Indians probably, they feed their dog what they eat, and the onion
like
is quite,
dal.
which often has a lot of onion in it. So just be careful because onions are toxic and they can cause a problem in the red blood cells, which make the red blood cells burst, which is not good. They need the red blood cells.
Okay.
What is the cheaper alternatives to our dog's food?
So, I mean, it's fine if it's a pet, then obviously feeding it the things that you eat is okay. I mean, any kind of food in that regard is better than nothing. But if you can incorporate things like eggs and curd, then, eggs are extremely nutritious. So they're probably one of the easiest and cheapest forms of getting really good protein into a dog. if you're completely against any animal products, then the soya chunks,
Soya chunks.
yeah, they are very good because they're 50% protein and it's quite a digestible protein for dogs. So it's quite highly bioavailable for them to get all the nutrients from it. So we feed our dogs soy along with chicken and eggs and curd. I mean, you can feed rice and dal and chapati, but just be aware that puppies, not too much. You know, adult dogs, you can get away with it more, and we do see plenty of dogs where they have been fed that and they're healthy, so it's fine. And dal does have quite a lot of protein. It's just that it's very hard for them to get the nutrients out of it.
Okay, I have also heard that dogs cannot digest milk as that much well that they can digest curd.
Yeah.
Is it true?
So what happens is most dogs are lactose intolerant. So the lactose that you find in milk, they can't digest it. So that can in some dogs make them have diarrhea and upset stomachs. Whereas with curd, the lactose, or the majority of the lactose, has already been used up by the bacteria to make the curd. So there's no lactose or less lactose in there that can cause the problems. So that's the difference.
Why my dog is eating grass?
I think there's a lot of debate over that. Nobody knows for certain why it is. What you'll find is a lot of the times dogs will eat grass and then shortly after they vomit.
Yes.
So it's like a self-medication. If they have an upset stomach, they know to eat grass and vomit. And if you watch them carefully, they will only eat specific grass. They don't just eat everything. They're picking out specific strands. So they know what they want, obviously. But yeah, so there's that. The other reasons are simply because they like it. You know, some dogs like it. For example, Kobe, we will give him grass in the evening, and Mario, who's staying with us for a while, he will often go and try and steal his grass for no other reason than he just thinks it's fun and wants to eat what Kobe's eating.
Okay, so sometimes it's health case and sometimes
Exactly.
it's fun case,
Yeah.
and sometimes he feels
Exactly.
like.
Exactly. It's nothing too much to worry about usually. Yeah, my dog, usually at one particular time in the year, usually I think it's in May, she eats grass a lot in the morning. She wakes up and her stomach's like making a funny noise. She goes out, she eats grass, and then she vomits, and then she goes and eats her breakfast.
Okay.
But it's only during May, I think it is. So it'll be coming up soon that she'll be doing that.
Okay.
How to maintain the hygiene of our dog?
Well, dogs themselves are actually very good at doing this themselves. You know, they don't actually need a lot. I have 2 pet dogs myself, and they probably get a bath once a year, and that's it.
I mean, are you serious?
Yeah. Why do you need to bath their dog? I mean, if the dog goes, sometimes dogs like to roll in things that do not smell very nice, and cow poop, things like that. And so then obviously you can bath the dog. But for just general, you don't need to bath your dog frequently. If they've got a skin condition, like this one here, then more frequent baths while they're recovering from the skin condition. But if you've got a healthy dog that's got no issues, it's not scratching.
Even in the case of breed dog, because street dogs, of course, we don't need them.
No, even breed dogs, you don't, unless you're showing your dog and you need it well groomed, then they probably get bathed more. But generally, you do not need to bath your dog all the time, and it's probably detrimental to their skin to do it anyway. So yeah, like I say, we bath our own pet dogs once a year maximum, and they're fine. They have very good coats. Things that you should maintain though are checking their claws to make sure they don't become too long.
Okay.
Because what happens is they become quite long and they start to curl and go underneath, and they can start to stick into the pad, which is very painful.
Okay, so can we cut them with simply nail cutter?
Yes, just use a nail cutter, and if you have a puppy, you want to get them used to having this done as early as possible, because if you take nail clippers to an adult dog, often they don't know what it is, they freak out a bit and it makes it difficult. So if you get your puppy used to it and reward it afterwards. Make sure it knows that that's a good thing. It's they'll be used to it and they won't mind it being done. But especially these dew claws, they don't touch the ground as much, so they don't get worn down.
Okay.
But most of the dogs, they if they're walking on concrete, they actually get worn down themselves. So it's just a good idea to check them though, to make sure they're not getting too long. And if you're unsure about how to cut them, then you can always speak to your vet, or come to somewhere like us and we can teach you how to do it or do it for you, because you don't want to cut too much, otherwise you can make them bleed.
Okay.
Yeah. Other things actually that you should check are their ears, because every now and again some dogs, they get ear infections, they get buildup of wax, then it starts to get itchy and they scratch it, then they get wounds and it gets infected. So keep their ears nice and clean using proper ear cleaner. Don't use water, because if you add water into the ears, it becomes a very moist, warm, dark environment, which is perfect for yeast to grow. Okay. So you use a special ear cleaner that has a drying substance, so it keeps the ears dry, but removes all the debris.
Okay, so if we see the wax inside the ear, can we plug it out with the help of any plucker or with the help of
earbuds? Yeah,
earbuds,
you can earbuds, you can if you're cleaning the outer part, but you don't want to stick the earbud too far in, because you can damage inside if you do that. You're better off getting some cotton wrapped around your finger, because your finger can't go in too far, so then you can use that to clean. But the ear cleaner you put into the ear, and then you massage the ears like this for a while, rub it all around, and then you use cotton on your finger to clean it all the way. Okay. But again, we can do things like that, or other veterinarians can help you with that. And that's another thing you should also get your puppy used to having done, because otherwise they really don't like it and they won't let you do it.
Oh, okay. And when it comes to bath, when we bath a dog, is it safe to use a shampoo?
It is, but we always recommend using one specifically for dogs, because the pH, like the sort of pH of the dog's skin, is different to ours, and the shampoos that we use, they alter that pH. And once that's changed, then it can encourage bacteria overgrowth, yeast overgrowth, makes them itch, gets dry skin. So you're better off using one that's designed for dogs.
Okay, so is there any shampoo for dogs specifically?
Yep, there's lots of different shampoos for dogs. You can get them on Amazon. We have them for people that bring their pets and want them. You can get medicated ones. Do you want to go down? Medicated shampoos if they have a skin condition, or you can just get normal ones that help control things like fleas and ticks.
Should we brush the teeth of our dog?
No, it is good, because like with us, we brush our teeth to try and keep our teeth healthy for as long as possible. With pet dogs, I noticed that a lot of pet dogs end up having very bad teeth, whereas when you see the street dogs, they have very good teeth.
Yeah, they have white, shiny teeth.
And you think, how? Because they don't get people brushing their teeth. Mm-hmm. But it's probably because of their behaviors and diet. So they're not eating kibble, which is not good for the teeth so much. And they're out there eating bones and chewing on sticks, and they chew things which helps to clean their teeth. Okay. So if you have a pet dog, then provide it things to chew, things that are safe. You don't, so you can feed like raw chicken bones. They're very good for the teeth. They're not too hard that they'll break the teeth. Just make sure they're raw. Don't, bake them in the oven, for example, because that dries them out and makes them dangerous. But or you can buy special chew toys for them that help them to encourage them to chew and cleans all their teeth after they've eaten and everything. But if some dogs, they still need a helping hand, and you can clean their teeth, and it's not a bad thing. If you can get your dog used to it, again, it's something you probably need to start off with doing as a puppy, so they're not freaked out by it, and then they get used to it. But it's not going to do any harm. As long as, again, just make sure you check the toothpaste. You can get proper dog toothpaste so they don't have any harmful things in them.
Okay, so there is a specific dog toothpaste
as well. Yeah, you can get dog toothpaste. Or you can make them out of I think bicarbonate of soda and water into a paste is quite good. And you probably don't need to do it every day or twice a day like we do. Probably if you do it once a week, that'll go a long way to helping to just keep your dog's teeth clean. And you can also, take your dogs to the vet, and they should be able to do cleanings every now and again, like humans get done. They will anesthetize the dog so they're not moving around, and then they just give it a really good brush and clean with their dental stuff.
Yeah, it was quite interesting for me because I'm knowing these things for first time. Like there is special soap or shampoo for dogs, and there is special toothpaste for dogs.